Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, the Drafted Up podcast. It's championship week for most leagues, hopefully all leagues. It's almost Christmas, so we got one episode this week, so we're going to jam-pack everything into today. That's Nick. I'm Theo. This is the Drafted Up podcast. If you haven't already, like, rate, subscribe, review, share, all that good stuff. It helps grow the channel. It helps grow the show as we try to grow the Drafted Up podcast. So please do that. And as always, if you've already done that, thank you for listening. We appreciate Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're watching or listening to the show. We appreciate your support. Nicholas, how are you doing today, my friend?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Festive. We're in the mood. I'm not dressed like it, but you are, so it's nice staring at you with the tree and the fire. But now I'm ready. I'm ready for the holidays. Got all my shopping and gift wrapping done today. The rest of the shopping was done this morning and wrapped everything. Had a nice little half day at work, and then we're smooth sailing, dude. Holiday season.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for this fire on the TV to go to an ad halfway through the show, and then I'm gonna panic and try to get it off. But yeah, feeling festive. It is the Christmas season, holiday season. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, season's greetings, all that good stuff. We hope you and your family and your loved ones have a safe holiday season. I feel like I just need a pipe, and I got the perfect little setup going here.
Hey, man. You know I'm always down for smoking some pipes.
Yeah. Hey,
yo, not like that, though. Don't clip that.
Pause. That's our first TikTok.
Smoke.
Smoking pipes and riding Johnson. That's
I'm
the
a
motto
man
of the
of class. A man of class and high stature. We smoke out of pipes around here.
Yeah, speaking of, you brought up Christmas presents and wrapping. I wrapped all my presents for maybe the first time ever where I didn't have somebody wrap them for me, or I didn't buy bags or boxes and just put them in. I have one more gift to wrap, which I will wrap after the podcast.
Uno gift. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's getting it done early. You don't have to do it tonight. We're chilling. Christmas Eve's tomorrow.
Yes.
Should be good.
You're off the shoot job tomorrow?
I got like a 2-hour day tomorrow. We're in hell early just to get stuff done, and then we're heading out. Absolutely nothing tomorrow.
Lucky you, I got that healthcare gig, so I got a nice 16-hour shift, and I work Christmas morning. But it'll be a nice little pay check, so I can't complain too much. All right, ready to get into these plays of the week?
Yeah, sure. Let's make it. Let's get it. Let's. You're gonna update us, obviously. Duh.
Yeah, I got you. W Energy plays of the week. W Energy, good, clean energy. One of us is looking to eat that dub, and it is a deciding week, championship week. So, of course, we got a championship factor in here. Nick did eat that dub last week. He picked up the W courtesy of Chase Brown and Tedero McMillan really carrying his squad last week. So, Nick is now 7-8-1. I'm sitting at 8-7-1. Current points as well. I updated that. I have 1,004.13. You have 962.2. So you're about 40 points below me. But this could be the deciding week if we both go 500. So let's get it up. Our W Energy plays of the week. Who you got at quarterback this week?
I'm going Dak Prescott at Washington. I love Dak. We all talked about Dak multiple weeks here and there about how Dak Prescott and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and those three guys are going to be heavily involved in getting teams to the championship. And Dak has done that here. He's been really good for the most part of the back end of the season. And George Pickens is healthy. CeeDee Lamb is healthy. Jake Ferguson hasn't been involved, but he's healthy. Javonte Williams hasn't been rushing as well as he has, but he also has a good matchup, so we'll get to that matchup. But Dak Prescott versus Washington is a phenomenal green-lit matchup. It's all go for Dallas. I think they're going to ball out. And you could definitely make the case that if Mariota doesn't play, that Dallas isn't going to have to score as much. But Dallas's offense is very prone to scoring because of how bad their defense is. And I get their defense has been a little bit better on the back end of the season compared to what it was early. But Washington is still able to move the ball. And I get if it's Josh Johnson. He's been around the NFL. He can get the ball out to Terry McLaurin. He can get the ball out to Deebo Samuel, whatever tight end they're using. Chris Rodriguez is going to be involved in the backfield with Bill a little bit here and there, but I am full go with Dak Prescott versus Washington this week. I think it's going to be a phenomenal matchup.
I like that. Josh Johnson, been in the league since 1 year after I graduated high school, which is insane.
It's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. Dak Prescott, he was your fantasy darling at quarterback, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. Well, we've gone 17 weeks, and my fantasy darling at quarterback has not been a play of the week at quarterback, and that changes today. Brock Purdy of the San Francisco 49ers, their home game against the Chicago Bears. The Niners are still playing. They're in contention for the 1 seed still in the NFC. That it's going to be a shoot race between them, Seattle, LA, and Chicago. So, and these past couple weeks, Brock Purdy has been lighting it up. 3 top 10 finishes at the quarterback position in the last 5 weeks, 2 back-to-back. You can pass on Chicago. That's the way you beat them. It's really tough to run on them. They're pretty stout against the run, kind of reverse of last year. So the Niners are going to put this game in Brock Purdy's hands. He had 5 touchdowns on Monday against the Indianapolis Colts. So I like rolling in with Brock Purdy. If you've gotten this far with him banged up or you picked him up on waivers, you've been streaming quarterbacks. Brock Purdy is a championship play in championship week for the San Francisco 49ers against the Chicago Bears.
Hell yeah. Purdy's been playing so good, dude. Like, and that's coming from me. So it might hurt not having. I was gonna say Kittle might not be out there, but even with Kittle out there, Jauan Jennings has been playing so well. And Christian McCaffrey is obviously one of the best receiving backs in football, if not the best, behind Devon Achane. So Purdy should cook this week as well. So I like Dak and Purdy a bunch this week. Purdy was almost my start of the week.
Yeah, it's a shame I didn't get to see the full Brock Purdy season with the injury, because this is sort of what I expected from him, and he's been great here these past couple weeks for fantasy. Sure. Who you got at running back this week?
I'm going Ashton Jeanty versus the New York Football Giants. He should have been like the rookie phenom, and I get that it's been a little bit of a down year for the guy, but we have to remember where he was drafted. He was drafted so early for a rookie that no one really had any clue on how well he was able to do. Most people thought Vegas's offensive line was going to be way better than it has been.
Us included.
100%. Even the Raiders in general, dude. Like, we thought they'd be decent. We didn't think they'd be good or anything, but we thought they'd be decent. They're abysmal. They're so bad. And the Giants and the Raiders are both playing for literally the first pick in the draft. So, honestly, you want to be on the losing side of this game for future stuff, but both teams are going to go out there and obviously try hella hard. And after the shit show the Giants had last Sunday versus Minnesota,
what a disappointing game just across the board.
Oh, it was so bad. Jackson Dart looked horrendous, and just everything in general did not go the Giants' way. So it is what it is. But I think both teams are going to play harder than they have been. The Raiders looked really good last week as like an actual football team. So shout out to them. Looking decent.
They was upset Houston.
Yeah, for sure, which is insane. If they play half as well as they did last week, they're going to beat the Giants. And I truly believe that if they do beat the Giants, it's on the back of Jeanty. He had a killer game last week, and I think it continues this week. You can run on the Giants, and I really do think Jeanty's going to have a really strong back end of the season, showing us why he should still be drafted very high next season in the fantasy football world.
I like that. Ashton Jeanty, about time. That was the game we've been waiting for from him. I wish we had drops. I wish we were a legitimate podcast and I knew how to do all the handiwork, because I would love to get a drop for this guy, get a little saxophone type John going on. Kenneth Gainwell of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny G at Cleveland.
Kenny G, baby.
Is my running back start of the week. Kenneth Gainwell has been so good for fantasy football these last few weeks. And Cleveland, I know you kind of like shine them out like, hey, the Browns, good defense, but you've been able to run on the Browns these past handful of weeks. Their run defense hasn't been as good. But what Kenny Gainwell brings you here is the ability in the passing game. He has 7 targets in his last 3 games, and DK Metcalf is going to be suspended for this game. So that is ups Kenny Gainwell's value, as Pittsburgh does not have another real pass catcher outside of DK Metcalf. So I expect Gainwell's passing work to continue or even go up, which is insane because, like I said, 7 targets in the last 3 games. He's going to be heavily involved in the passing game. He's involved in the run game. This is the Cordarrelle Patterson role of the Arthur Smith offense, and Cordarrelle Patterson was really valuable for fantasy that 1 year in Atlanta. So Gainwell against Cleveland, Pittsburgh playing for a divisional victory. playing to win the division, playing for that playoff spot. So I expect Gainwell's involvement to continue, maybe even get more, like I said, with DK Metcalf out. So I just keep rolling with Kenny Gainwell here, as he's been a real pleasant surprise for fantasy football. Real great waiver wire pickup. So roll with Kenneth Gainwell against Cleveland on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I like that a lot. I really think that Pittsburgh's going to be able to run the ball in Cleveland. I get they have a really good defense, but Kenny Gainwell and even Jalen Warren are both really good starts this week. I think both those guys are going to produce a decent amount for championship week.
Yeah. Wide receivers.
I'm actually making a pivot just on the fear of Mariota not playing. Terry McLaurin was my start of the week. I do not want to make him my start of the week if Josh Johnson's his quarterback, but I still do think at the end of the day, Terry McLaurin is a really good option.
About that. Go on. Who's your pivot?
I still think he's very, very in much like a low-end wide receiver to flex option Terry McLaurin this week. Mm-hmm. But my start of the week at wide receiver is Zay Flowers, Baltimore Ravens versus Green Bay. I love the matchup.
Zay Flowers.
Pro Bowler. And he has been so good the last 3 weeks. In full point PPR, 22 points, 16 points, 21 points. And he has been doing so much. And he looked good even without Lamar out there versus New England. He left the game early, which killed a lot of people's fantasy hopes. But I truly believe that Zay Flowers versus Green Bay, it's such a green matchup, that Zay Flowers is going to cook again. And that is 4 straight weeks. Zay Flowers has single-handedly turned himself getting teams, one, to the playoffs, and then he has carried teams through the playoffs. He is going to have 4 really good weeks to end the season. Zay Flowers, and he's shown this, that he can be a really good flashy wide receiver. These last 4 weeks, he's shown that he is like a low-end wide receiver too, going forward for the most part, if this is the way he's going to be used in the offense. And he's been getting targets pretty much all season. 11 targets, 6 targets, 7 targets. And last week he brought in all 7 of those for 84 yards. He's not a touchdown guy. Obviously, he's only had 2 on the year. But if they're targeting him this much and getting him this involved, more so than he has been, there's a chance he gets in the end zone versus Green Bay, because it's going to be a decently high scoring if Jordan Love is out there, if Lamar Jackson is out there. I get there are 2 huge ifs.
Might be 2 backups. Jordan Love might not be out there either.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I think even if it is Snoop as the quarterback, Zay Flowers is still going to be my go-to. I'm more comfortable with him than Terry McLaurin because of the Josh Johnson situation. But Zay Flowers, start of the week, wide receiver.
Hell yeah. Flowers, full PPR. He's a wide receiver 1 this year, top 12 guy. So shout out him. My wide receiver play of the week, just so I can force Nick to talk about him. It's Chicago Bears wide receiver DJ Moore at San Francisco. DJ Moore the last 2 weeks, 20-plus points, full PPR. Rome Odunze, probably not going to be out there again. Luther Burden, been banged up. We don't know about his status. He might not be out there either. DJ Moore has stepped up as the guy here in situations when Chicago needs him most. He has become the focal point of the passing game. I expect that to continue against the San Francisco 49ers. As I said with them, with Brock Purdy, the Niners playing for the 1 seed, the Bears as well. They're in contention for that top seed in the NFC. So I think you can continue rolling on with DJ Moore after the rough start that he's given you. He is finishing strong, and he is guiding you through the playoffs. If you've had him throughout the year and you've just kind of been lingering on your bench, he has been a key factor in guiding teams through the playoffs. Keep locking him in. DJ Moore, Chicago against the 49ers.
Yeah, dude, he's looked pretty good the last 2 weeks. I'll definitely give him that. Rome Odunze is not going to be out there. He's still not practicing. Luther Burden did return to practice, so I expect him to be out there. But I don't think he made much of an impact to affect DJ Moore as a wide receiver 2 this week. So I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if Burden's out there, it's going to affect more of Colston Loveland's involvement than DJ Moore's.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Let's round it out. Tight end.
My tight end of the week, I'm going back to the well. I think he was my tight end 2 weeks ago. But it's Harold Fannin Jr., dude. He has been on such a roll since week 13. Full point PPR, 12 points, 26.
Sanders really got in. Yep.
12 points again, and then 20 points last week, where he was 4 for 34. I get it wasn't a lot, but he had a rushing touchdown and he had a receiving touchdown. If you're telling me this guy is able to be used in the rushing game, because he has like 7 or 8 carries on the year, And if he's getting like a goal line rush for the touchdown because of Judkins not being there, no one knows who the running back is going to be this week. It could be Sampson. It's not going to be Ford because Ford's on the IR now. So I don't expect them to have any bit of a running game versus Pittsburgh. And they're going to have to, it's the division game, so they're going to go out there and play hard. I get Cleveland's not playing for anything playoff wise, but they're trying to play spoiler. They're trying to ruin Pittsburgh's season, just have them mess up a little bit because somehow Baltimore is still in the running to make the playoffs, which is an insane scenario. But I think Harold Fannin Jr. this week is my tight end 3 or 4 just because of the opportunities he's been getting. 11 targets, 14 targets, 6 targets this last week. He's being so involved in this offense. I really think he is going to be such a game changer next year in fantasy, dude. Like, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Njoku. Obviously, Njoku's
a free agent.
He's a free agent. I'm pretty exactly. So is this Harold Fannin's? They're not going to pay him. They're not going to pay that guy money when they have a kid like Harold Fannin who is so dynamic and he could be used to run an offense. And we've seen it at Bowling Green, dude. Like, he was one of the most used tight ends in college football history. So he can carry the workload. He's dynamic. He's so quick. He's so twitchy. Football game wise, I get he didn't run well at the combine, so I don't want to hear any of that. But it's translating to the NFL, and Harold Fannin Jr. is a legitimate playmaking tight end for fantasy and real life. So Harold Fannin, my tight end start of the week.
Yeah, like we liked Fannin, not as much as our boy Merck, but his involvement has surpassed anything I expected out of his rookie season here in Cleveland. And I like the point you brought up with Judkins not being there. There's a real opportunity that he might be the goal line back here because Dylan Sampson, not really his shtick. They do have Rocket Sanders. He's more big body, but undrafted free agent, like how much involvement and trust they're going to put in him right off the bat. So Harold Fannin, they're, like you said, there's the opportunity there to be a goal line threat for Cleveland, and really he's been the only pass catcher you can rely on there, and him and Sanders have this nice little rapport going on, so I love that. I'm going with Brenton Strange of the Jacksonville Jaguars, a Nick favorite. They're going on the road to play at Indianapolis. The Colts, they just got slaughtered in the passing game by the San Francisco 49ers. George Kittle, 7 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Brenton Strange last week got into the end zone against Denver. As Jaguars, big win against the Broncos. Brenton Strange, a real big part of this passing attack that is now growing. Trevor Lawrence continues to be a threat through the passing game. This team is passing the ball at such an efficient rate. Parker Washington's putting up numbers. Jacoby Myers, BTJ had a good game 2 weeks ago, wasn't involved this week, but Brenton Strange has been involved here throughout. The Colts, like I said, they're giving it up to the tight end position. They're not playing their best football. They've kind of dwindled off here at the end of the year. Jacksonville, they're playing for, the 1 seed as well. So I expect this passing game to continue to be super efficient. And with the Colts really struggling against tight ends, Brenton Strange, I think, is a great play, maybe a potential league-winning play at the tight end position.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't agree more with a lot of like the weird tight end matchups this week. So Brenton Strange was also almost my start of the week. So you went Purdy, you went Strange. I had both of those guys I was eyeing up. So I think we're in line to have a pretty good final season to see, final week to end the season.
Yeah, we're not doing a week 18 plays.
No.
Yeah.
We have fantasy football ends at week 17, baby, and I'll live and die by that. So
yeah,
no one should be doing championships in week 18, but we will be here next week, obviously, to help anyone out. But we will probably not be doing starts of the week. Man, unless we tie, man, we might have to throw out a week 18.
If we maybe we'll do a full lineup. We'll do.
Oh, now we're talking.
We'll try to build a lineup. Yeah, we'll see. We'll workshop that. Those are our W Energy plays of the week. W Energy, good, clean energy. No artificial dyes, no sweeteners. Use the code DRAFTEDUP. You get a nice 10% discount. Anytime you use that code, it is always good. So go support our friends over at W. Search W.GG in your search bar. That'll take you to the website. Or they have an app. WDUBBY in your app store. Use the code DRAFTEDUP for a nice 10% discount. Be better. Eat that dub with W Energy.
Love
All
it.
right. You ready to roll through these games? We got
these games, baby.
Three Christmas games. We got 2 games on Saturday. December, like holiday season football, is my favorite because
It hits
we get all
different,
these
dude.
NFL games early. The college bowls are happening. I know nobody really like, but the college football playoff, like an idea I wanted to workshop here, but we just haven't had the time to kind of like put it onto the podcast. Was doing like, what if the NFL had a college football playoff style and it was just 12 total teams made the playoffs? I thought about maybe doing something like that, but we just didn't get the time to do that. So let's get into this. We got 3 games on Christmas Day. The first one, the Dallas Cowboys. They travel to Washington, divisional matchup against the Washington Commanders. The boys, 7-point road favorites, over under a very beautiful 50.5 points. All 3 of these games have one thing in common: is going to be third string quarterbacks versus starting really good quarterbacks in each game. So we should be able to breeze through these, especially winter-wise. Dallas, you roll with your guys. George Pickens was great last week, which you love to see because it's been a little touch and go these past few weeks, especially like when it matters here for fantasy. But you're going to keep Pickens in. Your play of the week, Dak Prescott, has a great play. CeeDee Lamb, you keep rolling him. Javonte Williams, monitor him. He did have a shoulder injury, but I expect him out there. If you're a Javonte owner and you don't really have a pivot, I would just go out, pick up Malik Davis just to be safe, because it's the final week.
Just to be safe, yeah.
Your bench spots aren't needed. So I would snag Malik Davis because he's going to be in play if Javonte isn't able to go on Thursday, but I expect him out there. Jake Ferguson, really the only piece of the Cowboys offense I'm not messing around with, which has pretty much been our baseline here the past few weeks.
Yeah, and I think Dallas stays the exact same, where you're confidently starting Prescott, CD, and Pickens. Oh man, George Pickens had such a good week, dude. Oh man, he is so good.
Yeah.
He's getting paid so much money in the offseason, dude. I'm excited to see how much he gets. I honestly, I hope it is because of what he opens up for CD Lamb as well. But like Prescott, CD, Pickens, all for sure goes. Javonte, if he plays, you kind of got to play him because I'm sure he's needed. If you have like 2 other running backs you can confidently start over him, don't be making like decisions like, oh, Chris Rodriguez is playing on Thursday as well, and Javonte's not. I'm just going to slide like Chris Rodriguez in. Don't do that. And then Jake Ferguson, you got to kick out. Like, you have to make a pivot at tight end if Jake Ferguson is your tight end. I get it as a green matchup. He's 4 catches total in the last 2 weeks. If he is your tight end and you've got to the championship with him, you got to kick it out, dude. Like, go pick up Taysom Hill and start Taysom Hill. Like, Taysom Hill has an actual chance to be a touchdown threat because Kamara's still not going to play.
He had a passing touchdown this past week.
That's what I mean. Like, he has 3 options to score. He can run, he can catch, he can pass. Jake Ferguson doesn't even have the reception option as a touchdown at this point. So I would start Taysom Hill over Jake Ferguson this week.
Yeah. Like, if you got that far with Ferguson, that kudos to you, because that means the rest of your lineup is pretty well loaded. But yeah, I'd be streaming elsewhere with the tight end position. I'd be finding something. Washington side of the ball, I think they're pretty easy. Terry McLaurin, I think it's a good play, even with Josh Johnson back there. I still think he is a low end wide receiver too, but a lock for a flex. Deebo Samuel double flex, I'll put him in. It's really Chris Rodriguez. I'll play him. There's touchdown upside. Dallas has been better at stopping the run, but Quinn Williams did miss last week. I haven't heard anything if he's going to be back this week, but I still think Chris Rodriguez is a low end RB2 for you this week as well.
I would say Rodriguez is like a low end RB2 flex 1 spot, but I would also say Bill is like a double flex starter. Bill scored in 2 weeks in a
touchdowns.
row.
Back to back weeks.
Yeah, back to back weeks. So if like you need a sneaky play like in a 2 flex league, you could throw Bill in there and just hope he breaks one off because he has that ability. He can score on any carry because of his explosiveness. So I think you could start both of those guys, especially with the matchup. You can run on Dallas all day.
Yeah, Quinn Williams dealing with a neck issue, so I don't even know if he's going to be out there. I hate that I was right about Washington when we did our season previews.
It
like
sucks,
I just said they were going to have this weird
sucks.
bad luck year, injuries, stuff like that, and I've had that to a T, and it's been disgusting because Jaden Daniels is so good, and he's been the one who's been getting all the injuries piling up on his end. So I hate that I was right on that, but Dallas takes this one, I think, with ease.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also going Dallas.
Yeah. All right. The afternoon game on Christmas, Detroit Lions. They travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Lions 7.5 point road favorites, over under 43.5. And not as nice as that 50 burger. We'll get Minnesota out of the way. It's going to be Max Brosmer.
Mhm.
His second start can't be worse than his first start. He did close out the game against the Giants, but he really wasn't needed. He did have a nice throw to Jefferson onto the sideline. That was a good play. But do you start Justin Jefferson? Like, I'm not starting Jordan Addison. He's out in the lineup. TJ Hawkinson, no thank you. Aaron Jones is questionable, really tough to run on Detroit, so he's iffy for me. It's really like Justin Jefferson. I'm still going to put him out there. It seemed him and Brosmer had a good rapport. He had a nice game against the Giants. And like I said last week, Kevin O'Connell is here pushing the narrative that they have to get Jefferson 1,000 yards. He's 80 short, so he's got to get 41 these next two games. I think they just force feed him the ball with Brosmer back there. And like he's the only Viking I'm starting.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat. Like Justin Jefferson, I'm not going to bench in championship week. There's no way. Even if I put him in my flex spot, I'm starting Justin Jefferson. I think he gets 1,000 yards this week. I think he's going to have over 80 some yards, and I honestly think there's a chance for a touchdown. You can pass on Detroit, and you guys are going to be hyper targeting Jefferson, especially with Aaron Jones banged up. He's been limited in practice. Jordan Mason's probably not going to play. He's leaning towards being absent this week. So I really think you just I wouldn't shock me if Justin Jefferson has 18 plus targets this game. Like, you guys are only going to be throwing him the ball that way. So, and he's so good, dude. Like, he could take any catch to the house, 80 yards, 1 yard. He could Devontae Adams goal line catch. He can do anything because he is, honest to God, still at the end of the day, the best receiver on planet Earth. And I will die on that hill. So
I agree.
I'm starting Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Same boat. The Vikings did activate Ty Chandler. Fantasy podcast favorite Ty Chandler.
Haven't heard that guy's name in a long time.
That leads me to believe we don't see Jordan Mason out there on Thursday.
I agree.
Minnesota hasn't given up a passing touchdown in 6 games. The record's 7, so they're on track potentially for that. How does that make you feel about Jared Goff this week against the Vikings?
Not particularly great, but hear me out. Jared Goff has been on a really good roll. Since coming off the bye, he scored a touchdown in every game. Most of those are double touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been on a roll. He's been great.
And also, you guys might have not allowed a passing touchdown in the last 6 weeks. Jared Goff has scored a passing touchdown in every single game he's played this year. I think it continues. I even if it's 1, I think Jared Goff gets a touchdown. Most likely it's going to be to Amon-Ra. He's dealing with some irritation in the knee, but he's going to play. J-Mo's a big threat. With this offense, I'm playing Jared Goff if I have to, but if I have another quarterback like Brock Purdy or Matt Stafford or Dak Prescott, one of those guys, I would play him over Jared Goff this week.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think Goff sort of like floats right outside that QB1 territory. He'll be in that 13 to 15 range. Like, he's not going to kill you, which, I mean, he could, because it's the Lions. This could be the Jahmyr Gibbs 3 touchdown game. Jahmyr Gibbs has been a little touch and go here. The last 2 weeks, not great. Minnesota, decent matchup, but not the best for running backs. Like, David Montgomery dealing with an illness. I imagine he's out there, but there is a chance for a real blowout here, and then the Lions just pays off because they're fighting. Like, they're on the outside of the playoffs looking in, so they really need to make that statement game. They don't got a lot of time here to make that playoff push. And with Green Bay potentially not having Jordan Love on Saturday, getting a big win against the Vikings here is huge. So I'm still going to play all my Lions. Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, they're all locked in my lineup, even with the potential of a down game just because Minnesota's defense is so good. I just think Minnesota's offense is going to have a hard time keeping up, that it's going to open up the Lions just scoring at more points than the Vikings defense would normally give up just because of Max Brosmer being a 3rd-string undrafted free agent back there at quarterback. I think that helps the Lions. Like, this game could be close going into the 4th quarter, and then it just kind of gets out of the way.
Yeah, I agree. I still think there's 3 to 4 touchdowns to go around Detroit's way. I think they're going to score 21 to 28 points. So I expect there to be 4 touchdowns to go around. And Gibbs had one of the weirdest stat lines I've ever seen in football last week. He had 7 carries for 2 yards, which is like abysmal. That is one of the worst rushing games I've ever seen. But then you just look at his receptions, and he had 13 targets, 10 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. That is an insane game for a wide receiver. And he's out here as a running back with that kind of stat line. So even if Gibbs is not involved in the rushing game, they're going to be getting him the ball one way or another because he's so dynamic. So, like you said, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, they're all locked in. You can't bench those guys.
Yeah. In the past, it's good to see that the Lions are like figured that out with Gibbs. Like, if he's not going to going in the running a game, which he hasn't been the last couple of weeks, they're utilizing him heavily as a pass catcher. Which was last year, you would have just seen them just go back to Montgomery, and Gibbs would get you 5 points because he just wasn't putting together, wasn't getting that big play. So they're workloading him into a viable fantasy guy where he's not reliant on a ton of touchdowns. I think Detroit wins this one rather easily here. I just hope Rosmer's start is better than the one against Seattle.
That's all you can hope for, dude. But yeah, I'm also going with Detroit.
All right. This one's pretty gross to round out the primetime Christmas game. Denver Broncos, the number 1 seed right now in the AFC. They travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Broncos, 13.5 point road favorites. The over-under, 36.5. The Chiefs are down to their third-string quarterback, Gardner Minshew, just like Patrick Mahomes, tore his ACL. So we're looking at Chris Aludicon.
I believe it was an ACL scare, but it ended up not being an ACL tear, but he is out for the season. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well that's good for Minshew, but they did put him on IR. So we're looking at Chris Aludicon, South Dakota. Like, Ashley was just like, he came in and she was just like, "Do you know this guy?" And I'm like, "No, like I've never heard of this dude." And she's just like, "That's saying something." I'm like, "Yeah, like I guess," but like I obviously don't know every NFL player, but to not just come across this guy at some point, so complete unknown to me. The Chiefs, I don't think you could play a single one of them. We don't know if Rashee Rice is going to be out there, and even if he's
still not practicing.
Quarterback against an elite defense in Denver, I don't think I would trust him in championship week. Like, I guess if I had to play a Chief, Travis Kelce, just because of position scarcity, would be the one. And Denver does struggle against tight ends. I think he'd be the only one worth playing here on the Kansas City side.
Yeah, Rice is still in concussion protocol. I'm pretty sure that's what he missed for. I get if you have to play Travis Kelce and like the waiver market's abysmal, but again, I would probably almost play Taysom Hill over Travis Kelce just because of the quarterback situation. And even if they do hyper target him, they're not going to be deep down the field. Right? There's a chance Kelce finishes with 7 or 8 catches, which is nice for full point PPR, but there's a chance he has 20 yards on those 8 catches. And they're probably not going to score a touchdown. Kelce would be the only one I would even look his way to play.
Would you play Evan Ingram over Kelce? There's a good chance Evan Ingram is out there. And he had a nice 40-yard catch on Sunday for Denver.
I would play Evan Ingram for sure.
Okay.
Even because like you can go off, Kelce had that one big game where he was targeted a lot. Evan Ingram had that exact same game, week 13, 9 targets, 6 catches, 78 yards. So I'm cool playing Evan Ingram because he also has that ability to get the 9 target game.
Yeah. Kelce gives you this like gross floor. Like if you just want points at the position, like if you're just looking for a safe play,
even know
sure,
if they're
put
that
him in,
safe. Like they're safe in full point PPR most likely.
Yeah.
But there's still a chance he gets 5 catches and 20 yards, and then you're looking at 7 points. That's not a great floor, and that's full point PPR. If you cut that to half point PPR, you are. That's a miserable output for your tight end.
Yeah, I was speaking fully in just PPR.
Okay.
I would chase I like if I'm just looking, I'll chase Dalton Schultz if I'm going to look for a good floor. I'd rather put him in because there's at least touchdown upside with him. He's getting in the end zone for Houston, and there's probably a chance he's out there. But I think there is better options than Travis Kelce. Denver side, like, are you worried this game just gets out of hand and Denver just kind of coasts their way to like a 14-3 win?
I am, but that's why RJ Harvey's my favorite start from this game. And I get that Kansas City is a really, really hard run defense. But since the bye week, RJ Harvey has had a touchdown in every single game. He has 5 touchdowns in 4 weeks. even if they're somehow close in this game, which is most likely not going to happen, look at the spread on the road. RJ Harvey's going to be incredibly leaned on as the running back. They're going to give him a ton of work. I really like RJ Harvey a lot this week. Cortland Sutton, I'm playing because I don't know why you would bench him.
I was going to bring up Sutton as well. They're the two guys here for Denver. I think Harvey's a great play. He's been, like you said, since the bye week, he's been heavily involved. He's getting work in the passing game. That it kind of balances out matchup issues because he's catching so many passes. And Cortland Sutton here the last couple weeks has been really good. Like they're the only two for Denver I'm messing around with. I'm not playing Bo Nix just because, like, I think there's a chance Sutton could have just like 8 grabs for 70 yards and not get into the end zone. Like, and then like there's also the opportunity like RJ Harvey just gets the touchdowns. So Bo Nix doesn't look at having any passing touchdowns. And, this is just a low-scoring game, and Denver just kind of coasts to victory. So I'm not messing around with Bo Nix, but I think Sutton, volume-wise, gets work, is viable. Keep him in your lineup, and RJ Harvey, I think, is the play from Denver.
I would play Bo Nix. Oh, man. I have him pretty close to Jared Goff. I don't know if I'd play him over Jared Goff, but I'm cool playing Bo Nix if you have to. He's been pretty good the last 4 weeks. Troy Franklin's also been involved the last 4 weeks, 20 points in full point PPR and then 12 points in full point PPR. I think he's a double flex kind of guy. I would be cool playing, honestly, RJ Harvey, Sutton locked in. Bo Nix, you can play if you need, like I said, Franklin, a double flex kind of guy. And then I would play Evan Ingram over Travis Kelce on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Denver takes this one.
Denver covers the spread. That's my prediction.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 Saturday games as well. The Houston Texans, they travel to LA to take on the Chargers. Chargers 2.5-point road favorites. Over under, it's low. It's gross. It's 39.5. That just goes to say how great these two defenses are. Houston did struggle with Las Vegas, so we'll see. But Dalton Schultz, I'm playing him. This guy just randomly realizes he has Christmas headwear.
Didn't realize they were on my lamp.
Houston, I'll play Dalton Schultz over, most of the tight at like Jake Ferguson, Travis Kelce, Evan Ingram, those guys we talked about previous games. I think Schultz is fine. He gives you a good floor touchdown upside in Houston, as he's really just been the number 2 passing option behind Nico Collins, who you're obviously going to play as well. Do you go and mess around with the Houston Texans running game? Woody Marks still up in the air. Jawar Jordan was involved. Nick Chubb wasn't really. Jawar Jordan was the guy in the running game. But I kind of, if Woody Marks isn't out there, I'm not going to chase the running game here just because the Chargers defense really good. But if I had to play one of them in a pinch outside Woody Marks, it would be your guy, Jawar Jordan.
Yeah, I would start Jordan over Chubb if Marks isn't playing, but Woody Marks did practice today and he is trending towards playing. I think you can flex Woody Marks if you have to, but I think he's more of a double flex kind of guy based off the matchup. Nico Collins, I'm locking him into my lineup. Jaden Higgins, you can't really play. He hasn't been involved the last 2, even 3 weeks, to be honest. Mm-hmm. You know how I feel about Dalton Schultz, but I would play him over Travis Kelce, Evan Ingram, a handful of guys. Yeah, for sure. And you could honestly probably play Dalton Schultz if you wanted to play another Houston. It would be like Nico would be 1, and then Dalton Schultz would probably be 2.
Would you play Dalton Schultz over Tyler Warren?
Don't make me say that.
I would.
Yes.
What about?
Yes, I would.
About the
but he's not a boat. He's not a boat. I'm telling you that right now. Like, fucking Dalton Schultz is not a boat. He's like a little tiny jet ski compared to the yacht that Tyler Warren is. Unfortunately, Tyler Warren's yacht ran out of gas, and it's stranded in the middle of the deep blue
He's
sea.
waiting for the Coast Guard to show up.
But here comes Dalton Schultz just cruising by him on a tiny little jet ski, hitting Mondo waves. But I would play Dalton Schultz over Orlando Gatson this week.
Yeah. Justin Herbert, nice little game against Dallas. It was good to see because he's been a real struggle here for fantasy lately.
For sure.
I'm not going to chase it though, just because the Texans matchup. Nope. I think last week was an outlier for Houston in terms of like the Raiders and whatnot. So the Chargers, I am going to chase Hampton though. He was involved. I got the ad. I see it.
Yes, Chris playing. I'll go Hampton for sure because Kamani Vidal might miss the game, and even if he plays, he's not 100%. Hampton is the Charger that if I had to pick one Charger to play, it would be Amari and Hampton.
Yep. And I feel the same about the Chargers pass catchers as I have the last couple weeks. If I'm going to play one of them, it's going to be Ladd McConkey. I have a little bit more confidence. Keenan Allen was involved some this week. Quentin Johnson, they were trying to hit him on shots, but I'm not really confident putting them into my lineup in a championship week. A Ladd I would be, but I'm not chasing the other three: Gadsden, Quentin Johnson, or Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Ladd would be the only other Charger playmaker I'd be willing to play. You could play Herbert if you need to, but I would play like Goff. I would play Stafford. I would play Bo Nix over him, Dak Prescott, all those guys I would definitely play over Justin Herbert. But if you've made it to the championship with Herbert as your only quarterback, I wouldn't try to kick it out to like a free agent Aaron Rodgers or Bryce Young or Quinn Ewers, good God, no. But like all of those guys, I would play Justin Herbert over CJ Stroud on the other side.
Yeah, like if I'm going to chase a like waiver wire target championship week at quarterback, I think it would be Tyler.
It's
Shuck.
rough.
I think
Tyler Shuck.
I think he's the only one. My dude, man, Tyler Shuck.
I 100%
playing
agree.
the Saints out of quarterback, he's going to be the guy there next year. The Chargers also 100% DeAndre Lambert, Smith involved in this offense. It makes playing the pass catchers a little tricky. But I do think the Chargers win this football game.
As the Chargers fan, I'm picking Houston. I'm not gonna lie. I good defenses win football games. The Chargers do not have the offensive line to stop Houston's defense. I think Houston's going to be in Herbert's face a bunch. I still think he's a playable option, based off of having Amari Hampton, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, Orlando Gaston. I still think Herbert puts together a good fantasy game. I don't think it's going to be a good real life game for the Chargers. I think their team's too banged up. If this was a healthy Chargers team, I would 100% be leaning to the Chargers' way because I've been on that team all season. Houston's defense is just too good any given Sunday. Give me Houston.
All right. There we go. Our first differ. Well, it's because it's an actual competitive game.
It's the first great game. Those three do not look appealing.
Yeah. Primetime game on Saturday. Those are like the perfect Christmas slate, though, because it's just good background.
I agree.
Noise,
It's exactly.
Like,
I don't need to be focused on football.
To invest my time into when I'm trying to spend time with the fam. So
especially energy as well.
Perfectly.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like locked in on a phenomenal fourth quarter game as I'm exhausted because I got to be up early to do gifts with a group of people and then go to another house and do gifts and and then go back to the first house. It's going to be a very hectic Christmas, but I'm looking forward to the day and just having football on in the background. That's what it's all about. So I am actually happy it's three not great looking games for Christmas.
Saturday primetime game, potential backup quarterback battle. Baltimore Ravens travel to Green Bay, take on the Packers. Packers 2.5-point favorites. Over under at 40.5. Jordan Love in concussion protocol. So as of now, we don't know if Jordan Love's playing. I don't think he's going to be out there just on the shorter. I mean, I guess it equals out because the Packers did play Saturday, but it's still. I think if this game was on Sunday, we had a better chance of him being out there. Lamar Jackson might not be out there for Baltimore. We might be looking at Tyler Huntley. So it does kind of muck up the fantasy situation here because I'm going in assuming neither starters there. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think Lamar Jackson plays. I do not think Jordan Love plays.
Okay. With Malik Willis, I'm not trusting any Packers pass catcher. Like, I love Christian Watson. I love Jaden Reed. I think they bring dynamic, but you can't trust them in your lineup with him because he's also injured. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. There's not even the opportunity that he's not out there. I think he will be if Jordan Love isn't. So, like, I think on the Green Bay side that they're just going to try to run the ball a lot. So I think Emmanuel Wilson and Josh Jacobs are in play here. Josh Jacobs, if he's out there, you play him.
Yep.
But they pulled him after that fumble in Chicago, and Emmanuel Wilson played. So, like, I think Emmanuel Wilson is a second flex guy with Jacobs out there. If Jacobs isn't out there, I think Emmanuel Wilson is a mid-tier, like RB2, potential RB1.
I would have him almost a tier above you in each. Even if Jacobs is out there, I would confidently play Wilson as my one flex option. I think he's going to be involved. He had 14 carries last week, and Josh Jacobs played the whole game for the most part. And if Jacobs doesn't play, I'm willing to say Emmanuel Wilson is going to win people championships. He's going to be an RB1 for sure.
There's always one random guy,
and I think it's him. If Josh Jacobs does not suit up on Sunday or Saturday night, I think Emmanuel Wilson balls out and wins people championships Saturday night. I think he's in line to have a Mondo week if Jacobs doesn't play. And if Jacobs plays, I think they're both really good options this week.
Who are you more confident in, Jacobs or Wilson? I actually lean Emmanuel Wilson.
If I had to play one of them as like a floor option, it would be Emmanuel Wilson. But Josh Jacobs, any given game, could go off for 4 or 5 touchdowns because we've seen him do it before. Even back when he was with Raiders, he is so good at what he does. So like, if high ceiling Josh Jacobs, but I really think Emmanuel Wilson is locked in for like 14, 15 points, regardless of if Jacobs plays.
If Jordan Love is out there, if he clears concussion protocol, are you playing him? Good matchup against Baltimore.
Yeah, because it's just a concussion. It's not like an ankle or a hamstring. It's not going to be re-aggravated. If he clears concussion protocol and gets a full practice, he's 100% good to go. But
I agree.
It's rough though, because it's a Saturday. Yeah, like, if you have to be really focused on, like, you have to pay attention for Christmas games. You have to pay attention to Saturday games, just because of like people being game time decisions. You don't want to be like caught with your fucking pants down and Jordan Love in your lineup and he gets ruled out. So pay attention.
Yeah,
that's what says about sleeper. Everyone should have that option of being able to sub out. Every league should have that sleeper so far ahead of every other app.
Yeah, I'm in that boat in my money league where Jordan Love is my quarterback and so is Jared Goff. And
damn.
Like Jared Goff, tough matchup.
Goff on that Thursday night, you can't even roll. But he plays, that's rough.
Plays Thursday.
Yeah.
And if Love doesn't play, the waiver options, like Tyler Shuck's not out there. Like Bryce Young, like normally we like, okay, Bryce Young's a good fallback, but they're playing Seattle. I know Matt Stafford just ripped them up, but that's Matt Stafford. This is Bryce Young. I'm not putting my championship faith in Bryce Young's hand. And like Jacoby Brissett's not available either. I would have been fine streaming to him. They're playing the Bengals, even though he finally had his first non-QB1 finish this past week. Of course, when he was your play of the week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough situation. Like all other platforms should add in that auto sub feature. And if you're on Sleeper and your commissioner does have it, push towards that in the off season. Cause like it is a good feature to have. Obviously don't be like, oh yeah, auto subs. You have 10 auto subs. It really should just be limited to like 1 or 2. But Baltimore pass catchers, Zay Flowers, I think he's the only one. I'm not messing around with Mark Andrews or Isaiah Likely. Zay Flowers, though, I think it's a good play no matter who's back there, Lamar or Tyler Huntley. And Derrick Henry, keep rolling with him. Baltimore, like, maybe they should take our advice and roll with Derrick Henry. They were beating New England on Sunday, and then Derrick Henry doesn't play another down after that big touchdown run, and they lose the game.
Yeah, it's a very weird situation, dude, with the Derrick Henry thing. And Isaiah Likely, too, dude, 2 weeks in a row of just absolutely goosing. Doesn't even have a target in either game, but he's played 51% of snaps 2 weeks ago, and last week he played 40% of snaps. No, he's not involved at all. I'm really looking at Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, and I think the real question is, if Lamar plays, are you playing Lamar Jackson? He's such a big time name to bench,
Jackson,
bro.
And he plays, you play him. Caleb Williams had a nice game against the Packers. If Lamar is active, he should be in your lineup, unless like you have Brock Purdy. Like I'll play Brock Purdy over Lamar Jackson, but that there's not many options like out there. Like I'm not going to play Sam Darnold over him against Carolina. I'm not going to chase like maybe Tyler Shuck, but do I really want to put my faith in Tyler Shuck? If Lamar Jackson's out there, I'm just going to roll with him and just hope he stays active for the game.
It's just a lot harder than it is. In the last 9 weeks, how many times has he been a QB1? Take a guess.
What was that?
Not the last 9 weeks. How many times has he been a QB1? What do you think it is?
1.
It's 2, and it's week 14 versus Pittsburgh, and in week 9 versus Miami. And that seems like a lifetime ago if you are a Lamar Jackson owner. It's a lot harder, but like you said, you have to just kind of roll with Lamar because I would be damned if I'm the guy that played Bryce Young versus Seattle over Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's on my bench with 50 points because he's Lamar Jackson at the end of the day. So if you drafted Lamar, you drafted him for a reason, and you hung on to him. You played him every single week. So roll with Lamar, bro. Live and die.
I think Baltimore wins, no matter who the quarterback is. I think they pull this out. Like, I think the only way I don't think a banged up Malik Willis beats Baltimore. Maybe Jordan Love does, but right now I'm going in that Malik Willis is going to be the quarterback for the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baltimore figures it out here, but I think Green Bay's the better team. Now that I'm not, I might have just talked myself into the
He's
Packers.
just talking himself out of it.
Year. The Ravens, I honestly think they're going to. I think there's a world where Harbaugh's not their coach next year, and they fire him, especially if they miss the playoffs.
It's a good thing the Giants are hiring a coach.
Yeah, Baltimore's having that weird things are going. I'm going Green Bay, no matter who the quarterback is. I've talked myself into the Packers. I think they're a better football team.
I'm going Baltimore. I'm going under the assumption that Lamar Jackson is playing and Jordan Love is not. And if both backups are out there, I think Baltimore gets it done because even Malik Willis is a little bit banged up. So I'm going Baltimore.
Okay. Before we jump into the Sunday and Monday game, let's shout out our other affiliate over at Finley Hats. Finley Hats are built for good times and long times. If their hat is damaged or destroyed, they'll replace it or repair it. Absolutely free of cost. They offer free shipping across the U.S. So if you want to get yourself a hat, there's a link in the description. Click it. It'll get you 15% off your first purchase over at Finley Hats. They do weekly hat drops every Friday. They got them. They do beanies, snapbacks, dad hats, all sorts of stuff. They also have, shirts, sweats, all those sorts of merch. So check them out over at Finley Hats. Join the force over at Finley. Click the link in the description. 15% off your purchase. All right, Sunday. The Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. The division-leading Steelers, only 3-point road favorites. The over-under is 33.5.
Ugh.
No DK Metcalf. So, Pittsburgh, it is Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. That is it. You do not try to substitute.
Whoa,
you're
Adam Thielen.
No.
He had 4 catches for 50 yards last week, bro. He's their one. I'm not playing. I'm not playing any of these fucking guys. Oh, I'm playing the running backs. I'm playing the running backs.
Yeah,
but if I
meant for fantasy, like
I think Adam Thielen could be in a double flex discussion.
I love Adam Thielen. I'm not doing it. It is not worth the risk. I'd rather take a shot at Rashid Shaheed and hope he scores a touchdown than play Adam Thielen and bank on him getting 4 catches.
I mean, I'd
rather play Jalen Coker than Adam Thielen.
How many catches over under do you think Adam Thielen is going to get? I would base the line at 4.5 because he had 4 catches last week.
I was going to say he's going to get 5 catches.
In a full point PPR league, if Adam Thielen has 5 catches, he's having 50 yards. That's 10 points right off the bat. I'm cool starting Adam Thielen at that point.
I just don't.
You just straight up said he's going to have 5 catches, bro. He's going to have 50 yards then.
I get that. Same game. Adam Thielen or Dylan Sampson, who projects to be the running back here in Cleveland. Do you trust Sampson just stepping right in and being the guy?
No, I don't. I would start Adam Thielen over Sampson.
Okay.
I would honestly
play Sampson.
I would play Adam Thielen over Jerry Jeudy. There.
Well, I'd also play Adam Thielen over Jerry Jeudy.
That's what I mean. Jerry Judy's the one on that team. If I had to start one receiver in this whole game, it's Adam Thielen. That's where I'll leave that statement at.
I agree with that statement. We'll give Adam Thielen his flowers. This is his last year in football. Adam Thielen or Deebo Samuel? Deebo's got Josh Johnson Thursday.
In a full point PPR league?
Full PPR, yeah.
Adam Thielen.
Okay. I think they're about the same, so I guess, Adam Thielen has a starting quarterback.
I called you into Thielen. That's so funny, bro. That is so funny.
You talked me into him over Debo Samuel.
Hey, people out there starting Debo. I'm telling you that right now.
Yes.
So go pick up Adam Thielen.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely available.
He's 100% available.
The only players in Pittsburgh I want to start are Jalen Warren and my play of the week, Kenneth Gainwell. That's it. I'm not trying to figure out the pass catching. If I am, it is Adam Thielen. I'm not chasing Jonnu or Freiermuth or any Calvin Austin, any pass catcher that's not Adam Thielen. Cleveland, Harold Fannin, great play.
That's it.
Your play of the week at tight end. I think you lock him in. I'm okay with Dylan Sampson in a double flex. I think he's playable.
Only in full point PPR. That's the only way I would, because he's a little bit banged up, and he had like under 10 yards rushing. So last week I'm pretty sure he was 2 carries for 4 yards. I would 100% play Adam Thielen over Dylan Sampson.
Okay. I would play Sampson on, but that's it. I think we can move on from this one. Pittsburgh wins this one.
I agree.
I think it'll be close. I think Cleveland will hang around. Defense. I think Myles Garrett gets a sack record here on Sunday, and this might be I think Pittsburgh will take it away. But I think going into the fourth quarter, this might be tied or a 3-point game, like 14-10, so 4-point game, one possession. But then I think Pittsburgh just takes over. Cleveland doesn't score. We're looking at maybe like 21-10, but. I think this game will be closer going into the fourth quarter when it matters, but Pittsburgh wins.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm giving the dub to Pittsburgh.
All right. 2 off-season darlings of mine. The Seattle Seahawks travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Over-under set at 42.5. What do you think the line is? Carolina at
7.5.
Spot on. Seattle, 7.5 point favorites on the road. Carolina, the division leading Carolina Panthers. Do they win this game? Do you think there's like an actual shot they beat the Seahawks?
I mean, of course. Like this, the Colts almost beat the Seahawks. They only lost by 2 points. And that was a 45-year-old Phillip Rivers in his first game in 5 years playing on. So yeah, Bryce Young could show up, and they're a really well-coached team with a really good run game, and Tetairoa McMillan's putting it together. So yeah, there is a world where they win, but I think it's only like 1 out of every 10 Sundays. I'm not gonna lie, but there's a chance. But I think Seattle comes in here and then ultimately shuts down House. I think their defense is too good for Carolina.
I agree.
Shout out that Thursday night game though last week, because we're only talking this week. We were not really recapping last week. That game was amazing. Hats off to Seattle. I'm giving them every single flower they deserve. I turned the game on, and the Rams are up 30-14. And I'm like, this game's a wrap.
We turned the game on like the exact same time.
And it's so like we do not live together. We didn't even know that until like a day ago. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I turned it on. What's his face got that big guy pick and
Kobe Turner.
Yeah. So and that was a big moment, and I'm like, oh, this game's a wrap, dude. This is dunzo. And then there was that huge Rashid Shaheed.
Was gutted.
The punt return from Shaheed, dude, he's so fast. And AJ Barner with that amazing touchdown, dude. Like, big body, bro. I love Barner. And Kenneth Walker is actually looking like a decent running back, so shout out to that guy. Seattle is looking like a real legitimate contender. And they did this versus the Rams, who I think are a Super Bowl contender. So in my eyes, that makes Seattle now a Super Bowl contender in my eyes. They've been a Super Bowl contender, obviously, in Vegas's eyes. They had them like the second favorite odds to get there.
My eyes too, yeah.
Yeah. So you were right on that one for sure. So I know Logan's going to be thrilled about that one. He's always calling me out in comments and his own personal Facebook story, which was hysterical, by the way. So that had me dying, bro. Yeah, he didn't even tag me. He just straight up shouted out. He's like, "Yo, Nick's wrong," and I'm like, "Damn!" He didn't even at me, which makes it so much funnier. But I think Seattle's defense is just way too good for Carolina to come in here and just have a chance. I think the touchdown spread is probably a little. I think they're going to cover that spread. I think they're going to win by 8 to 10 points.
Yeah, last year Sam Darnold doesn't win that game. He would have been rattled. He's continues to mature.
There's no way he has that comeback.
Yeah, him in Seattle has been a great fit, and I'm happy for Sam and his development there. And Seattle's defense, that is a boat I've been on since I believed the offense has been much better than I thought it was going to be, and this defense I've always thought was at an elite level. I love Carolina too. I think they're really fun. I think playoffs or not, if they end up missing, this is a successful season for Carolina. They're much better than the majority of people thought. Tedero McMillan, you're going to play him. You're not going away from that boat. I think Jalen Coker is fine if you're desperate for a good floor double flex play. Tough to not play Rico, but going to be hard for the running backs here in Carolina to produce for Seattle. So I would try to move elsewhere. And then I think I would play Chris Rodriguez over Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard this week.
Damn, that is rough.
I hate saying that because I love Rico, but it's become too much of a split for me.
I would definitely play Chris Rodriguez and Bill over Chuba Hubbard. I think both of them have way better touchdown upsides than Chuba. Rico is just rough, dude.
1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Rico for the 1,000 yards. Back-to-back seasons now because he did it with Dallas last year. I would play Rodriguez over Dowdle. Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's hard. Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah. Seattle side, Jackson Smith-Njigba is the only receiver I'm playing. Kenneth Walker, I'm going to play him. Charbonnet.
I'm cool playing Shaheed, dude. In 3 straight weeks in full point PPR, he's been wide receiver 14, wide receiver 28.
But a lot of that, you also need return scoring for Shaheed to really hit his ceiling.
I get that. I'd play him over Thielen. I know you brought him up.
I'd play him over Thielen too. I didn't think Thielen was worth playing.
I think Shaheed is a borderline flex.
Over Coker if we're looking
100%, easily. He's gone almost 20 points in 2 out of the 3 weeks, and then last week he had almost 12 points. I get it's all return yard stuff, but he can take any return to the house. He is that fast. He's that quick. He's that dynamic. And then if I get he's not involved, but 3 weeks ago he had 7 targets. He brought in 5. So there are going to be weeks where he's more involved in the passing game than last week where he only had 1 target. I just think he's like a low-end flex 1, high-end flex 2 guy where you can play him in deep leagues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but know your leagues. If your league's not doing any sort of return scoring touchdowns or yards,
don't play him.
A little bit of his luster. AJ Barner, I'll play him over Travis Kelce. I'll chase the touchdown there. I think there's a better chance AJ Barner. Big man's his way into the end zone than Travis Kelce.
I also think he just has a better floor than Travis Kelce. Even if Kelce goes 5 for 30, I think AJ Barner could do that.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker, I think, is at RB2. Charbonnet, flex play. And then that's Darnold. I'm not really. Everybody benefits. Darnold doesn't really give you the benefit of having everyone like Jordan Love does, where he's the benefit of everybody else. These guys really more so get the points, whereas Darnold, not great for fantasy. And I agree. I think Seattle wins this one.
I agree.
Double digits.
Yeah, I think it's 8 to 10 points is going to be the 4 that they win. So give me Seattle.
The New England Patriots travel to New York. They take on the Jets. Pats 13.5 point road favorites, over under at 42.5. New England.
Oh, why are you
pass
starting there?
Catchers, Kayshon Boutte.
We could have got the Jets done over real quick, dog.
I wasn't even going to talk about the Jets. Was it Breece Hall? You play him and close your eyes, and that's it?
I don't think you play him. He's gone under double digits the last 3 weeks. I don't think you can play Breece Hall in your championship. Honestly, if I had to play one...
If you've gotten to the playoffs with Breece Hall, you probably have been eliminated if you've continued to play him.
I would play AD Mitchell over Breece Hall if I had to play one Jet.
Okay.
I'm not playing, but I'm still not playing him. I would start Adam Thielen over AD Mitchell.
Yeah, agree. Although Thielen doesn't have the 60-yard touchdown catch upside that AD Mitchell has, but I just don't think. New England's defense, great play. They might be the best play in the whole game. Drake May, keep rolling with them. he's still playing at that MVP level. Pass catchers in New England, I feel this is just a rotating door every week. If it's prime time, Steph Diggs is the guy. If it's not, it's usually Kayshon Boutte. He's in concussion protocol. Kyle Williams had a touchdown. I'd love to see that, but you're still not going with him. If you're going to play one, it's Diggs with Boutte in concussion protocol. I think Hunter Henry, I think he gives you a better floor and upside than Travis Kelce. If we're using him as the line, I would chase Henry over him just because, especially if Boutte's not out there, I think Henry could see 6 grabs and 8 targets.
Yeah, we saw it last week when Boutte, he got the concussion. Henry had 7 targets, brought in 6 of them. Matt Collins, the last 2 weeks, he's gone 8 targets and 9 targets in back-to-back weeks. Matt Collins, you can flex Matt Collins in like a single, maybe double, definitely, maybe single if Boutte's not out there. But that's only if Boutte's not out there. If Boutte plays, Matt Collins, just take him off the table. But if Boutte misses this game, you could play Matt Collins championship week. He had 9 targets last week. He brought in 7 for 69 yards. I think he's a good option. I think Diggs is a good option. I think Henry's a good option. And then it all comes down to the run game, dude. If Henderson isn't out there, Ramondre Stevenson is going to eat, and that man loves to eat, bro. So
yeah, I think Ramondre is a great play if Henderson's not out there.
I really agree, dude. He had a touchdown last week after Henderson
did sign Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, Patriots signed Elijah Mitchell today, so it's a concussion for Henderson, and honestly, he's probably not needed for this game, so I don't think he's going to be out there, which is a shame, as he has skyrocketed now. He was the betting on favorites to win Rookie of the Year for offense, and now with him being out there, who knows if that changes, but I would go in if you have TreVeyon Henderson that he's not out there, and I think Ramondre, if he's out on your waivers, or if you've just been stashing him on your bench, I think he is a potential RB1 this week against the Jets. If it's just him in the backfield.
Ramondre is only owned in 58% of leagues, so everyone should go out and check their waivers to see if Ramondre is available. He is going to be the Patriots' main back on a game that they are going to start 21-0. The Patriots are already winning this game.
Like, it's been spotted points.
And that exactly. Like, they're just going to run the ball to click the time away because they're just like, we are obligated to come in here and play 4 quarters of football. The 4 quarters are not necessary. The Patriots are going to destroy poor Brady Cook, dude. He got sacked like 8 or 9 times last week. The Patriots defense is going to rock this guy. He's looked better than I thought he could be. But at the end of the day, he's a backup quarterback in the NFL playing in the elite defense, and he got sacked 8 times last week. So this is a perfect storm for the Patriots to come in here and win by 30-some points. They are a really good football team.
Yeah, and it's not even like him getting sacked a bunch. The Jets' line is good. Like, the Jets have a good line,
it's fine. Yeah,
you have a third string quarterback, undrafted rookie. Like, things just get carried away, especially like you don't have the offensive firepower to hang with teams, so you're passing a ton. So things just get carried away. That's not a detrimental. Like, Armin Menbu as a rookie has been playing really good. Fashan, who's taken a step up, he's looked way better than he did last season as a rookie. Things aren't just going the Jets' way, but yeah, I think New England slaughters them here, and we can move on.
Yeah, I agree.
Florida battle, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Bucks, 5.5-point road favorites, over under set at 46.5. Miami's so weird. Like, a Miami headline can read Devon Achane, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Their linebacker has 20 tackles and 2 sacks. Dolphins lose 42-14. Like, what? And like, Achane did that, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns on 12 carries. Like, he has stayed healthy. He has been efficient. Like, this is the Achane from his rookie year where he's just big play after big play after big play. He's been great. You continue to roll with him in Miami. Jalen Waddle, he falls into like a flex play for me, low end wide receiver 2. I can't overly trust him with yours, but he's still the focal point of the passing game there that I'm not going to try to force him out of my lineup. And that's really it. I'm not going to chase Waller this week. I like some of the other, like I'd rather chase, Hunter Henry or AJ Barner. Darren Waller or Travis Kelce though.
Darren Waller or Travis Kelce. Give me Darren Waller.
I think I would go Kelsey there.
See,
That's where
see, 2 weeks ago, Waller went 7 for 66 and had 2. Travis Kelsey cannot do that. That is not a realm of possibility.
That's a fair point.
And Tampa Bay, you can pass on tight end wise even. And last week with Quinn Ewers, Waller was 3 for 40. I think that's Travis Kelsey's floor. So I think Waller I would play over him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. Do you chase Malik Washington? He got into the end zone this week. He's clearly the wide receiver 2 in Miami.
He is, but probably not. Like Achane has been an RB2 or 1 every single week. He has not fallen below that. Achane is going to be drafted so high next year. Waddle, I'm cool. Wide receiver 2, flex territory. And Darren Waller, I would chase if you need a starting tight end, but it's not a very high ceiling. I would start Dalton Schultz over him, and that's coming from me. But those 3 guys
you hate that guy.
I hate that guy. Like I do not hate many football players. No offense to Dalton Schultz, he's just not good.
Dalton Schultz is listening to the Drafted Up podcast and like, man, why does Nick hate me so much? I'm just doing my job.
Hey, but most of the time he's not doing his job, and that's probably why I hate him.
He's not doing his job for fantasy. He's doing his real job.
Sure.
His fantasy points don't get him paid.
That's true. I'm a guy sitting in the bedroom. He's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
So, it's really just those 3 guys for the Dolphins. Achane, Waddle, and you could start Darren Waller if you need a tight end. But don't have high
Tampa
hopes
Bay's
for it.
a little trickier, which they're falling apart here.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is a lock.
Yes, Mike Evans
back
is a lock.
Baker Mayfield's just throwing him the ball. Bucky Irving has 0 carries inside the 5 this year.
Yeah, it's concerning.
It's so frustrating as a fantasy owner that if you've had Bucky Irving because he's productive, like he's fine, he's putting in numbers, but I don't know if it is the shoulder injury and they're just kind of like, we don't want him in that situation, and like we have 2 guys healthy in Sean Tucker, Rachaad White, so Bucky Irving does become a little bit more of a question mark. Like I think he falls out. Like I don't think he's an RB1. Like in that range where you can lock him in, like, yeah, Bucky could push in there. I think he's more in that RB2 range. Like if I had to make a decision, I would play like Travis Etienne over Bucky Irving. If it came down to playing one of those guys, I would lean Etienne over Irving just because of how efficient the Jaguars offense has been here the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still cool with Bucky as an RB2 territory. But I don't look at him as an RB1 going forward this season. Maybe next season we'll see how he bounces back because we love Bucky on the podcast. Yeah. We were well ahead of that one.
Baker Mayfield, can you like? Oh,
that's a rough question, dude.
I'd rather take the shot on Jared Goff scoring against Minnesota than Baker bouncing back. I would rather play Tyler Shuck. New Orleans plays Tennessee. I think I would go Shuck over Baker. Like. I think Baker's just banged up. The Bucks just things aren't going their way right now. They're banged up as well as a whole. So like I just can't comfortably play him. He has not been great in the last like 4 or 5 weeks. He has not been really usable for you as a fantasy option.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would try to kick out of Baker Mayfield this week for sure. I would go Goff. I'd probably go Herbert, guys like that. Stafford for sure. I would probably start Baker over Sam Darnold. Oh, man, maybe not. They're in the same territory, but that's a rough call.
I think I draw the line with like Baker with like CJ Stroud. I would play Baker over Stroud.
Yeah, I would play Baker over Stroud for sure.
Yeah, like or would you play Jackson Dart? The Giants, he only passed the ball 11 times on Sunday. Can you trust him going into Vegas, or do you just roll the boat and just like, I know what I'm getting with Baker, I'm putting him in?
Yeah, Baker still had a passing touchdown every game since the bye, but I think I would probably lean the rushing upside of Jackson Dart and them just getting the ball rolling a little bit more. Obviously, Tampa's going to be rolling a little bit more than the Giants, but the run game for Tampa could easily get involved. Bucky has a bunch of carries since he's come back. He's just not getting red zone work or receiving work. It's kind of frustrating, but like any given Sunday, Bucky could show up and take it out of Baker Mayfield's hands, especially with Sean Tucker, Rachaad White. They have 3 capable backs. Jackson Dart's rushing upside should still be where it has been going forward.
I think the bigger question, even bigger than playing Baker Mayfield, is
Abuka
playing Emeka Egbuka. since Mike Evans has been back, even pretty much since he's been injured, since he came back from injury, Igbokwe, he's not been playable. Like, if you've gotten this far, I don't think you can play him. I think I would take like a shot on like a Parker Washington over Emeka Igbokwe. Like, it sounds disgusting, but Parker Washington, Jaguars offense has been really rolling. I think I'd lean that route. Like, if Luther Burden's out there, I might even consider playing him over Igbokwe. That might be a stretch just because
that one's
he hasn't
a little
been healthy.
rough.
But
yeah,
I would play Mac Hollins if Booty's not out there.
I would 100%. Yep.
If Booty's not out there, I would play Mac Hollins over Igbokwe. If Booty is out there, I'd play Booty over Igbokwe. So whoever the Patriots quote unquote wide receiver 2 is, I think is a better play than Emeka Igbokwe. I know it's tough to like think that, but like I would play Igbokwe over Adam Thielen and like that line that we were drawing. But like, I think Igbokwe's closer to Thielen than he is to Teteroa McMillan.
I agree. Igbokwe is
and it's a shame. It's not a knock on his talent. It's just a knock on Tampa Bay and Igbokwe's health and like
they're all
Mike
just
Evans being
they're
back
all
being
banged up, dude.
Just like the focal point there.
I like Igbokwe is a very, very, very low end flex 1, high end flex 2. That's where he is. Like, he's not a guy that should be started in most just standard 1 flex spot leagues, because there's a good chance you have someone that's going to outscore him. He's been like his high since week 9, where he's finished, or after week 10, where he had his big New England breakout, not breakout, but he had 13 targets, went off for 100 yards, a touchdown. It's wide receiver 39. That's not good. That's his high since then. But he's had finishes in the 40s. He's had 2 finishes in the 70s. That's not playable, and that's a chance you'd have to take on Igbokwe for sure. Would you play him over Godwin? I'd probably play Godwin over him.
I would play Godwin. I just think he's just getting more sturdy targets. Like,
I agree.
I would chase Alec Pierce's upside with 45-year-old Phillip Rivers.
Yep.
Compared to I think I would play any of the Colts 3 receivers over Igbokwe. Downs in full PPR for Downs. In half PPR, I would lean Igbokwe just because I don't think Downs is scoring. But like I would play Pittman too over Igbokwe.
I think Pittman's got a safer floor. I would probably play Igbokwe over Downs, but I would play the other 2 over him. I'd play Quentin Johnson over Igbokwe.
Yeah,
he had the touchdown versus Dallas. I would play Quentin Johnson over Igbokwe.
Yeah. Tampa, this is the must-win game for them. If they win, they got Carolina next week, and that could potentially be for the division. I do think they get it done on Sunday. I do think they beat Miami.
I agree. I think Tampa gets the dub. I'm going with Tampa.
Here we go. Over-under for this game is 53.5. The Arizona Cardinals travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Bengals, 7-point home favorites. Do you latch back on to Jacoby Brissett? Finally didn't have his QB1 finish. Michael Wilson, you're going to play him. This is the dream matchup for Trey McBride. He didn't do much this past week against Atlanta, but this is the Bengals. Like, there's a chance Trey McBride has 10 grabs for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns on Sunday, and that's like a bar for him. Like, if you got this far with Trey McBride, you were salivating at the mouth that you get him against the Bengals championship week. He's in your lineup. I'm not going to play Marvin Harrison. I'm not going to play the running backs. Like, I would chase Marv. Like, if I'm trying to find a second flex, I would play Marv over Adam Thielen. I think he gives you a higher ceiling just because of the high over-under, but he's not someone I'm comfortable playing just because injury and just him being all over the place this year. I'd rather play Michael Wilson over him. Like, he's the focal point of the passing game. That's not Trey McBride.
I would play Wilson over Marv for sure. I have no problem with that. Oh man, I'm just so excited for Trey McBride this week. How many catches do you think he has this year?
Okay, he's definitely over 100. I'd be willing to say he probably leads the league I'll say 118.
He's got 109, but he has 10 touchdowns, which is so nice
Yeah.
to see. He has more targets than he
Yeah.
did last year. He almost has as many catches as he did last year. He had 111 last year. He's 109, so he's going to break 111 this
Is
week.
he a first round pick next year?
I don't
Like
think
Bauer
so.
sort of teetered into that range.
I think that's why he's not, because if like Brock Bowers going round one and he has not lived up to that, tight ends are so iffy. I personally would not take a tight end in the first round, but Trey McBride is easily going to be the tight end one next year over Brock Bowers, over George Kittle, over guys like that. Tyler Warren, I get he's a yacht, but Trey McBride has gas still in his tank. So Trey McBride is by far and away my tight end one going into next season.
Yeah. I think he'll be like mid-second round is when you're going to really start looking
agree.
like, oh yeah, Trey McBride, like too much to like he's a wide receiver one, and you're getting him here.
I personally think
tight
you
end.
could take him if you're in like you're in a 12-team league. If you're picked 9 through 12, you pick him on the swing. I'd be 100% comfortable with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bengals side, same situation. Jamar Chase obviously in play. T. Higgins in play. Chase Brown, he's doing it. We bring it up here the last couple weeks that this is the guy. Our fantasy darling is
we love it.
He is winning. He is winning you championships if
Yep.
you have hung on and have competed, or if you were smart and bought him at the trade deadlines in your league and traded for him to kind of give you that step up. Chances are he has guided you to or through the playoffs and been a big part of your team's success. So you're still rolling with him. Joe Burrow playing him as well. Like this game's going to be fun. 2 teams out of the playoffs. This is going to be a shootout. I think that over under. I think they hit it at 53.5. I am going to take the Bengals here. They are the better team, but I think this game's great for fantasy football.
I totally agree. I think there's going to be a lot to shell out. I think Michael Carter is a flex kind of starter as well. Like versus Cincinnati Bengals defense, he's going to get most of the work. I get DeMarcado was back, but he only had 5 carries. He only had 1 target in the catch game. I'm starting everyone here, dude. Like even Marv, I look at Marv as like a flex option, flex 2 kind of option. I'm cool.
He's like an upside shoot for the ceiling. If you're an underdog, like say your opponent had a bunch of Thursday, Saturday guys, and you just need a big play. I think Marv could do that. He could put up 20 points in. I'm not going to chase Michael Carter, but I think he's a good pivot if you like Travion Henderson owner and he's not out there.
Yep.
I think Michael Carter's a fine sub option there. But,
I agree.
You going with Cincinnati as well?
Yeah, for sure. Cincinnati.
Jacksonville Jaguars. The first place Jacksonville Jaguars. Go to Indianapolis, take on the Colts. Jags, 6.5-point favorites. Over under set at 47.5. This is like the first year in a long time where I feel like 10 different coaches are like worthy of coach of the year. Like Mike Vrabel, obviously.
It's insane.
Mike McDonald over in Seattle. I'd even put Dave Canales in that boat, and Liam Cohen should also be there with the job he's done here in Jacksonville. He's got Trevor Lawrence looking great. I think he's obviously in play. I think he's a QB1 potential guy this week. You're going to keep rolling with Jacoby Myers, Brenton Strange here. Great matchup for him. Travis Etienne's been really good. He's a free agent, so he's playing for money. I do hope he ends up back in Jacksonville because I think that's where he's at his best is with Liam Cohen. If he moves on elsewhere, I'm not as comfortable with him because I think he falls more to a committee guy. Whereas in Jacksonville, like they have Tootin, but it is clearly Etienne's backfield. I think Parker Washington is a double flex play. Same with Brian Thomas Jr. I'll chase the Jaguars offense here against the Colts, who are just faltering at the wrong time. I was wrong about them, even with them likely missing the playoffs. They've just kind of run into a string of bad luck. For them, it's Jonathan Taylor's. You're obviously playing him. Tyler Warren. I think there's better options at tight end. I don't think
I agree.
And then I think Alec Pierce is the receiver from the Colts. I'm going to play if I had to play one of them. He gives you the best upside, but like obviously the worst floor. But touchdown wise, if I had to pick Colts pass catcher to score, it's going to be Alec Pierce, who's going to get a ton of money in the offseason.
Yeah, he's not going to get George Pickens money, but some team's going to pay him to be their deep threat for sure. Like he's going to get a good paycheck.
Yeah, I don't think he's end up in Indy. I know when we talked about it earlier, we both kind of agreed he ends up back in Indianapolis. I think he's kind of played his way out of Indianapolis. I think him to Buffalo is one of my I think he's the receiver Buffalo needs. They need a true deep threat. Like they have speed guys, but they're all like linear speed. Khalil Shakir can run, but you're not going to hit Khalil Shakir down the field 60 yards. And Keon Coleman has just not become that guy. Can't separate. Alec Pierce is perfect for Josh Allen. If he ends up in Buffalo, I think you're looking at like a wide receiver 2 next year. Like, that's his floor to me. So I think he's done a wonderful job and has played his way out of Indy. But yeah, he's the guy I'm playing if I'm going to play a Colts pass catcher.
Yeah, I think you've nailed the hit the head on the nail, whatever the fucking saying is. You did it. That you got it right. I wouldn't change anything with that. Like Lawrence, I'm cool playing. ETN, I'm obviously playing. I would play Myers over Thomas. I would probably play Parker Washington over BTJ as well. I think he's got a better
I was
floor.
going to ask, and I kind of agree. And I love Brian Thomas Jr., but I think Parker Washington gives you a better floor.
I agree.
I think his ceiling's pretty good too.
I was also going to bring that. Yep. I think he has a better ceiling and floor than BTJ, unfortunately, going forward this season. Obviously, I think that's going to change next year, especially with Travis Hunter getting involved in the mix more when he comes back healthy next season. And Brenton Strange, he's your start of the week. He was almost my start of the week. I'm cool with that one as well. I'd play him over Tyler Warren on the other side. So,
yeah, I think there's a world like. Had you asked me a couple weeks ago, do the Jaguars trade Brian Thomas Jr. offseason, I would have said there's not a chance. But now that they've re-upped Jacoby Myers to 3 years, Travis Hunter's coming back, and they traded a ton to get him. Parker Washington is viable. Brenton Strange is involved, and I think they can. I think they can get a first round pick for Brian Thomas Jr. Not like an elite level first, but like New England. If I'm the Patriots,
yeah,
I have a pick in the 26 through 32. I'll gladly give you that for Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I think a team like New England, oh my goodness, who else? I doubt Buffalo would do it, but Buffalo needs a receiver. Pittsburgh, if they make the playoffs, they don't want receivers, but they're always in the market looking for wide receivers, and I don't understand because they paid DK Metcalf $155 million. Go use that guy like a receiver you're paying him.
Philadelphia. If they move on from AJ Brown,
he's a perfect fill. And I agree.
Him and Devonta Smith.
I honestly think they could easily use BTJ to recoup some of the funds that they gave up to get Travis Hunter. And you're still looking at a receiving crew of Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, and a healthy Travis Hunter, who you need to get involved into your team next year. You gave up so much. You have to go make that guy worth what you gave up. I agree, dude. I actually think there's a chance BTJ gets dealt this offseason.
Yeah. San Fran's another option. Juwan Jennings, a free agent.
For sure.
Ricky Pearsall can't stay healthy. Brian Thomas Jr., he would fit the bill. He's kind of always banged up.
Yeah.
So pop him in San Fran, but I think that'd be great for Brock Purdy as well. It gives them a legitimate option. So yeah, it'll be an interesting offseason there for BTJ and the Jags. I think Jacksonville takes this one. You think they're a threat in the AFC? Or are you still on the boat that like they're pretenders?
I think they're a decent little threat. I don't think they're going to have a crazy playoff run, but they're more of a threat than I thought they were. I'll definitely give them that. What's the spread on this game?
What was that?
What's the spread?
Jag 6.5.
I think the Colts cover.
Yeah, they've been playing close football. Like they hung around with San Francisco, they hung around with Seattle. That their defense is good enough to hang around, and I agree. I think they'll hover around there. If they don't cover, they'll lose by like
it'll be
7
close.
or 8.
It'll be 7. It'll be a
close.
touchdown. Yeah, it'll be very close. I think that's a very good line, but I think the Colts actually do cover that spread.
Yeah. New Orleans, the Saints, Tyler Shuck. I said they were going to win out. They only got 2 more games. I've been right so far. They traveled to Tennessee to take on the Titans, who just obliterated the Kansas City Chiefs. Saints are 2.5 point favorites, over under set at 39.5. I think Tyler Shuck is a good pivot option if you're worried about your quarterback, or if you have Baker Mayfield, or you're just really not sure about Jared Goff against the Vikings defense. I think Tyler Shuck is a fine play this week. He is, making the Saints offense functional, and the real benefactor of that has been Chris Olave, who is his pace with Tyler Shuck is like almost 90 catches, 1,300 yards, double-digit touchdowns. Like, he has turned Chris Olave into like a wide receiver 1, and that's been great for him, and it's great for Olave's future because right now Tyler Shuck has pretty much played the Saints out of drafting a quarterback next year. So you're obviously going to play Olave. I think Juwan Johnson's a fine, floor play at tight end. I don't think he's a tight end one this week, but like I'd play him over Jake Ferguson, Travis Kelce, that sort of line that we've brought up for. And that's it. I don't really want to mess around trying to figure out the Saints running back situation. I think this is really the Tyler Shuck continues to grow and this passing game continues to grow here against Tennessee. And then for the Titans, Tony Pollard, he's a fine play. He's a low-end RB2 to me. I think Tyjae Spears in a double flex, you can put him in. I'm not going to chase the Cam Ward, Chimere Dike pass-catching stuff against a banged up and just throwing in the towel Kansas City Chiefs. My stance stands the same with Tennessee. It's Pollard and Spears are the only guys that I'm considering plugging into my lineup. Your mic's muted.
You're right. You're correct. I'm like, it sounds weird. I wouldn't chase DK. I would play Tony Pollard for sure. He's gone 100 yards in 3 straight games, which is really nice to see. So shout out Tony Pollard for being able to turn it on in the back end of the season. Just love Tony Pollard, watching him play ball. So I'd play Tony Pollard. Tyjae Spears, like you said, he's a low-end flex 1 guy, high flex 2 guy. Maybe not even like a high, just maybe like a flex 2 guy. He had 1 good week in the last couple. But other than those 2 guys, I'm not really looking at anyone on Tennessee.
Okay. Are you excited for Chris Olave's future with Tyler Shuck? Because I did my whole little rant on Olave and Shuck being really good.
I'm just excited for Olave, dude. Like, he has looked so good, and I get Shuck has looked good as well. But Olave, he has put together a phenomenal season on what he did last year, where he had multiple concussions. He missed a ton of time, and they just hung up his cleats early, just called it the year. He is the Chris Olave that we still known and love coming out of college. His first couple years in the league, he was amazing. So I would love to give that shout out to Chris Olave. Keep playing ball. Please stay healthy. And I don't want to call out Derek Carr, but there might be a reason that this guy's not getting concussions because there's not being hospital balls thrown, dude. And that has been a huge knock on Derek Carr throughout his whole career. He was always putting guys in the line of like huge defensive hits, and it really came together in New Orleans when Olave had 3 or 4 straight games, or not games, but concussions back to back to back, and it took him out, dude. Like, we can't be giving these wide receivers crazy balls, and there's a reason guys don't want to go over the middle.
Ask Pat Bryant.
Pat Bryant got laid out. Look at BTJ. BTJ got laid out once in the middle, and he got rocked. I don't think that guy's been the same since that hit. He is in his head, and he has not been able to put together a string of good games because he's just afraid of getting mollywopped. And that might not be the reason, but if you're out there and any given ball could take you out of a game, you're going to be playing the game at a slower step than you are used to playing. Chris Olave looks like he's back at full speed, and he is amazing at football, dude.
Yeah. He's going to be a fun name to talk about in terms of like Olave, where he ranks.
He was going to be my starter. He was going to be my starter of the week over McLaren, but I thought he was too good. Like, that's the boat I have Olave in at this point.
I agree.
Where I couldn't make him my starter of the week, because if you're not starting Olave, you don't know what you're doing. He is a lock-in guy every single week. The rest of the year, and most likely next season, as Tyler Shuck is probably his quarterback going forward.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Kellen Moore, Shuck, and Chris Olave do next year. I think the Saints win this one. I think they're the better team than Tennessee. I'm not buying into how Tennessee looked really good against the Chiefs, but that's a Chiefs team that they've thrown in the towel. I think the Saints, they're playing for something.
Yeah, I agree. The Saints are playing hard football, dude. So I don't think this game will be particularly close, and I get Tennessee got the dub over Kansas City last week, but I don't think that rolls. They did win that game, right? As now just talking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're both going New Orleans?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Got 2 4:00 games on Sunday, and they are the complete opposite games. Let's get going with the first one. Potentially the battle for the first pick of the draft. Your New York Giants. They travel to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. The Raiders 1.5 point home favorites. Over under is 41.5. The Giants consistently play their way out of the first pick of the draft, so it would be no surprise if they end up just like blowing out the Raiders here and winning this football game. The Raiders, they showed some gumption against Houston. They were way better. Like you and I were just like out, like Chanty not playable. Like Brock Bowers the only guy playing, and Chanty and Bowers destroyed the Texans' elite defense. So, Genty, your play of the week, you keep riding that high. Chances are, like if you were in the playoffs, he potentially led you to a victory. I think you keep rolling with him. Brock Bowers obviously in play, and that's it for Vegas. There's no receivers. Like Trey Tucker's barely usable at this point.
Yeah.
And Jack Besh not consistent enough. So and Geno Smith, you're not Jason. It is just Brock Bowers and Action Genty in this 2-man offense.
Yep, Genty, Bowers, and you can honestly just move on from the Raiders for sure.
Giants a little more exciting for fantasy. Jackson Dart uninvolved against the Vikings.
Heartbreaking.
They ran like 17 plays before throwing a forward pass on Sunday. They weren't running him, so I don't know if that was just them trying to manage his health, but I still think you could take the shot on him. Wandale's a flex guy for me. Tyrone Tracy, he is been great. I love Tracy. I think he's a capable back. I think he's an RB2 here for New York, and I think Theo Johnson's a fine stream option at tight end, but you could probably find someone else there, but it's not someone exactly that you have to pivot away from. Dalton Schultz had a nice game against the Raiders, so I think Theo Johnson's a fine play.
Yeah, I think you stream Theo Johnson. Wandale's a flex one guy, and the guy you could play him there. He should be played. Tracy's in like a low end RB2 flex one, so almost the same range as Wandale. Jackson Dart's the one that you kind of really have to like think about.
Mm-hmm.
He finished his QB 36 last week when there was 32 starting quarterbacks in football, so that's not good because he also played 100% of the snaps.
Yeah.
You could play him. Don't get me wrong, but I would play Jared Goff over Jackson Dart Thursday night.
I agree. I would probably also play Bo Nix Thursday over Dart as well, even in the risk that they just coast to that game. But I would play Dart over Baker, which we already talked about. I think Dart gives a little bit better ceiling than Baker does, but I would kind of same boat as Baker, like top 15 sort of range, right outside the QB1 area.
Yeah, I agree. Like you could play him if you need, but I would try to kick out.
Yeah. I think the Giants are the better team. I think as a whole, I think the Giants have more building pieces than the Raiders, but I think the Raiders, I don't think they take a step back based off what they did against Houston. I think that was more of them like, hey, like we're a team, like we're still playing football. Whereas like, I don't know what the Giants were doing against Minnesota. It made no sense considering like they've been just this high powered offense and then they play Minnesota and they were nearly not even functionable. I think the Raiders win. I think the Giants do end up with the first pick of the draft. Like the Giants almost feel like they're casually tanking because they know how much they can get back for the first pick, especially if there's only one quarterback in this draft. I'm
not sure of the draft odds, but if the Giants lose this game, are they guaranteed the first pick? Is that how that's going to work?
That I'm not sure.
Or is there a chance that they still can fumble the ball week 18 if they somehow win?
That I'm not sure because I think like Cleveland and Tennessee and them, they're only like a game behind you guys still, and the Jets. So like I think there is a way I would assume that one of them happens, but that I cannot verify.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to what the draft odds are after a win or loss here for the Giants. I agree that we are a better team than the Raiders, and I do think the Raiders played very well last week for Houston, and I think they're going to play very similar to that. I'm picking the Raiders here to beat the Giants, but I still think the Giants somehow fumble the ball, and they do not end up with the first pick after Week 18 is all said and done.
Yeah. This is the current front runners.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah, I got nothing.
We got a good game to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, the other 4 o'clock game, the better one. The Philadelphia Eagles travel to Buffalo. They take on the Bills. Bills 1.5 point home favorites. Over under set at 43.5. This was your Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
So exciting game for fantasy, and this is the one where you're going to play your pieces. Josh Allen, he disappointed you against Cleveland, but you know he's much better at home. That was a road game. The Eagles, this game should be a bit of chance of a shootout. So you're going to continue rolling with Josh Allen. James Cook, this team's so much better when James Cook is the focal point of this offense. So you're going to continue riding James Cook. Hey, now, keep rolling with Cook. That's it. I'm not playing a Bills pass catcher. And we've kind of been on that boat. Like, I'm not even chasing Khalil Shakir in a great matchup.
Mhm.
Dalton Kincaid has been the one I would chase, but he just had 0 points this past week. He goosed you. So at the tight end position, I think there's better streaming options than him. It's really Josh Allen, James Cook, and that's it for Buffalo. They're the far and away the best 2 players and really the only 2 options that I like for fantasy.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't play Shakir. Like, he's like a low end flex 2 kind of guy. Like, you can play him in a 2 flex league if you have to get some type of points. But his ceiling is probably 8 points in a full point PPR league. I wouldn't say 8. I'd probably go 14, ceiling 8, 4. It's not a great range, and it's not going to be a pretty outcome. Josh Allen, you're locking in. James Cook, you would lock in. And after that, like you brought up, Kincaid goose last week, and Philly's a really hard matchup for tight ends. So I'm really looking at Josh Allen and James Cook from Buffalo's side.
Yep. And Philly's kind of the opposite. A.J. Brown in play, Saquon Barkley, you're going to play him. Jalen Hurts, you're going to play him. Dallas Goedert, I'm not chasing this week. Buffalo's been really good at stopping tight end. I know Harold Fannin had a nice game against them, but he's used a little bit differently. I know they used Dallas Goedert sort of out of the backfield as well, but like that, I think that was an outlier because Fannin's really the only pass catcher in Cleveland. I think that's why he was so viable for fantasy from Cleveland against Buffalo, but I'm not going to chase Goddard. It's really Devonta Smith, who had a nice game. So do you chase Devonta Smith, or do you kind of try to find a way out of him?
I would place. I have more confidence in Smith over Goddard, but I still think at the end of the day, both are playable. Like, I would play Dallas Goedert over Kincaid for sure. I would play him over Taysom Hill. We brought him up a couple times. We brought up Travis Kelce. I'd play him over him. I would probably even play Dallas Goedert over Tyler Warren. Dallas Goedert's been really good the last 3 weeks, and I get Buffalo is a really hard matchup, but Phillip Rivers is trying to get Tyler Warren involved. Did a bunch of targets last week, but they're not good like fantasy targets. So give me the touchdown upside of Dallas Goedert. He has 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks over like all of those guys.
Okay. Yeah, he does give you that touchdown upside. I just don't like the matchup for Buffalo, so I would lean. Smith.
It's a horrendous matchup for sure.
Goddard, yeah,
I agree. I agree. I would start Smith if I had to start one of those guys.
Yeah. Who are you going with here? I think this one's pretty set. You start your guys.
Give me. I want to go Buffalo, but give me Philly because I'm going Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm going Buffalo. They're too good at home, much better home team. I think they beat Philadelphia. Sunday Night Football, Chicago travels to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Niners 3-point home favorites. Over under a beautiful high of the week, 52.5. And that's why Brock Purdy's my play of the week at quarterback, and that's why DJ Moore is my play of the week at wide receiver. This should be a shootout. I think Christian McCaffrey is a cheat code. He has stayed healthy. You were right about that. Your guts and being willing to just bank on McCaffrey is, you were right there. I was a coward. I should have believed you. That Christian McCaffrey is
he's
an absolute
going to have over 100
here.
Catches this year, dude, which is insane to think about.
And if George Kittle's not out there, he's got a low ankle sprain, so I think he'll gut it through, but that might kind of temper his fantasy output. So they're going to rely heavily on Christian McCaffrey. He's so utilized through the passing game, the rushing game. He's obviously locking their fantasy MVP type season for McCaffrey. Purdy, obviously, you guys know I'm playing Brock Purdy this week. I think Juwan Jennings is a good wide receiver 2 flex option. And Kittle, if he's out there, you're going to play him. You don't move on just because he gives so much upside. He is the number one pass catcher outside of McCaffrey. And then Chicago, like DJ Moore is in play because he is the only healthy receiver that's, productive here. And the running backs, Monungai, DeAndre Swift, I think they're kind of in that same low-end RB2 flex play guys here in Chicago, but I'm not going to chase Colston Loveland. I'm not going to chase another pass catcher for the Bears. And I think Caleb's a fine stream option. Like I think he should give his flowers.
I agree. Yeah. This season for the Bears, dude, they've been slept on a lot this season. 10-4, dude. Shout out to the Bears. They've been playing really good ball. Juwan Jennings has been really good for like the last 8 weeks, and he's just been really quiet. Wide receiver 16, wide receiver 12, wide receiver 21, 19, 36. Ain't that good, but that's his one real dud since week 9, and he's just been decently playing ball. So, yeah, for sure.
He's healthy. He's they're great together.
Yeah. We seen it last year where Jennings had huge spike weeks, and he had like 2 40-plus point games last season. I'm starting all my Niners. I'm starting Purdy, McCaffrey, Jennings, George Kittle, even if he plays. And if you have George Kittle, please go pick up Jake Tungus, because it's a Sunday night game, and you're not willing to bench George Kittle. But if George Kittle was ruled out last minute because of his ankle, you have your replacement with Jake Tungus. He is a fine play if there is no George Kittle.
Yeah. Would you play Loveland or Tungus? Because Loveland's out there too.
I would probably play Loveland, but he's owned in 58% of leagues, so there's a chance he's not on the waivers. Yeah. But I would play Loveland over Tungus
out there.
But yeah, Tungus he is owned in 2% of leagues, so he is out there. Yeah. But no, I'm so excited for this game, dude. Even DJ Moore, I'm excited. Like DJ Moore, Luther Burton, DeAndre Swift, Caleb Williams. You could stream Purdy, McCaffrey, Jennings, Kittle. Play him if he plays. Tungus, if he doesn't play. Like there are so many startable options. Even Luther Burton, before his injury, Luther Burton was getting really involved. He was wide receiver 26, wide receiver 23 in the last 2 games he has played. And that's without scoring a touchdown. So if this guy eventually gets into the end zone, you're looking at like a wide receiver 2 high-end flex guy in Luther Burton.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's out there, it does lower DJ Moore a little bit. Like DJ Moore is probably a high-end wide receiver 2 without Burton out there. If Burton is out there, DJ Moore kind of falls more into the flex range, but you're still gonna go out there and play him. Caleb Williams, even despite the Bears' successful season, will still probably not break 4,000 yards passing. He's only got 3,400, so he would need 600 here. These next 2 games. Happen. Yeah. I'm going to disrespect your Chicago Bears. I think the Niners win this game.
No, I don't think that's disrespecting. I think this is going to be a really close game at the end, but I'm also picking the Niners. I agree to that statement. But like the Bears have been playing really good football, dude.
Yeah, they have. Monday Night Football, a little bit less exciting. The LA Rams travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Rams favored 7.5 points on the road, over under set at 49.5. Puka Nacua in your lineup, absolute dog, kind of a moron off the field, but on the field, machine. You're not going to move on from him. Kyron, Blake Corum, both in play. Devontae Adams, not going to be out there. I'm not chasing Colby Parkinson. He was a letdown.
Nope.
So I'll go elsewhere with the streaming tight end. But it's really Puka, Stafford, Corum, and Kyron on the Rams side. Atlanta, Drake London played. It wasn't great, but he's probably going to be out there again. You're not going to move on from him. And Bijan, superstar, play him. Kyle Pitts, superstar, play him.
Dude,
do you chase
someone is
Tyler
going
Algier?
To pay that guy.
Yeah. Do you chase Tyler Algier? He had like as much work running wise as Bijan, as they kind of ease Bijan into like a receiving role. I'm not.
I wouldn't
I'm not chasing Algier.
It's the matchup thing. Even if you give that guy the 16 carries he had last week, it's versus the Rams defense, and that is going to be brutal. I would play the Rams backup in Blake Corum easily any day of the week over Tyler Algier. Yep. Blake Corum has been really, really good the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, Bijan, superstar. I'm not worried about the matchup just because of his pass catching work. He can kind of have an inefficient game on the ground because he's going to get you 6-7 catches. 6-7 did it. I tried going all episode without doing it. I managed to. And Drake London is really the question mark, but if he's active, you're not going to bench Drake London.
Kyle Pitts got 1,000 yards. He needs 150.
What's he need?
150 yards.
He's not going to get. He's not going to get his Rams, but I think he gets it on the year. And
no, I agree. He's got 2 games. He got 150 yards, and he's been really involved
in the offseason. I honestly think Atlanta should just pay him.
Fun fact: if he doesn't end up with any touchdowns, he has his 5. So he has gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in his first 5 seasons. So if Kyle Pitts does not get another touchdowns, he's in line for 6 touchdowns next year. But I'm so excited. But I honestly think that Kyle Pitts gets into the end zone multiple times in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I think he scores 1 to 2 more times, putting an end to that streak. I think he gets really close to 1,000 yards, if not over.
Do you think he ends up back in Atlanta next year, or do you think he's going elsewhere?
If I'm him, I'm dipping, dude. I'm gone, dude. There's a chance he might have over 90 catches this year. He has 80 receptions, dude. 2 more weeks, 5 catches a game, 90 catches, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts is like almost tight end 1 this year, but if fucking Trey McBride's not a monster.
Kyle Pitts in Miami. Mike McDaniel's been trying to get
eat that up, bro. Yeah,
that's where I want him to go. Kyle Pitts to Miami with Jalen Waddle. They move on from Tyreek. Whoever they bring in at quarterback, I don't care. Kyle Pitts to Miami would be. I think that's my favorite destination for him in the offseason. Rams win this game to move on from the Kyle Pitts talk. Rams,
I'll talk about Kyle Pitts a whole episode if I could. I think the Rams win this. What's the spread? See if they cover.
7.5.
Their Rams are probably going to cover that spread.
Yeah. All right, there it is. Holiday football championship week for fantasy. Go out there, win your championships. Throw out in the comments, your plays of the week or, your all that stuff. And then, we're going to move on soon to, prospect stuff, all that good stuff as we're going to slowly probably transition to 1 episode a week as we kind of started here doing it, but look to be that little bit of regular schedule. We'll obviously take a little time off after the Super Bowl like we did last year, but we got some fun stuff coming up with prospects, all that good jazz. Anything else before you go?
I don't think so, man. Just good luck in your championship. If you made it, ball out. It's going to be a rough matchup. And if you lose, it's always next year. At least you're there. That's not true. Yeah. If you lose, goddamn, you hit fucking clinical depression, and I'm out for weeks, bro. Yeah. I'm miserable. Yep. I'll fight that person on the spot if I see them.
Rather lose in the playoffs than end up losing in the championship. Because then you just have.
I'd rather not even make the playoffs. What are we talking about? I'd rather be the worst team in the league than losing the championship, dude. Being the loser of a league, absolutely miserable.
You get to sit on that all off season. All right, Drafted Up Podcast. That's Nick. I'm Theo. Like, rate, subscribe, review, share, all that good stuff. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're watching or listening, we appreciate it. Have a safe and happy holiday season. I'll throw it, Nick. Throw your favorite Christmas song, if that's your shtick, in the comments. I'm particular to Christmas rapping by the Waitresses. I love that song. Oh, you forgot Cranberries too? I love that. Like, it gets me every time. I also, random one. It's the Christmas song from the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. It's a banger. Go check that one out. You want to throw yours out before we sign off?
It's that Snoopy song, but I'm going
Snoopy,
that Snoopy song, but it's
song.
Not the regular like Charlie Brown Snoopy Christmas song. It's the one
Snoopy's
where it's like red. Yeah, it's Snoopy's Christmas where it's like Red Baron.
Christmas bells.
I love it. I eat that song up. We don't want to copyright infringement.
That is great. That's a great call.
I eat that song up. I also love Dominic the Donkey. I absolutely adore that song.
Yeah.
I like Christmas songs about animals.
Yeah. Be safe out there, guys. Have a good holiday. Enjoy the time with your family and your loved ones.
Go get them championships.
Enjoy the times. Yeah. Get those dubs. Eat those dubs. Eat those dubs here.
Oh, Dubby energy. Oh, also, real quick, shout out Finley Hats. Got a beanie for the lovely lady I'm seeing. It's going to be a phenomenal Christmas gift. She's seen the colors. She absolutely loves it.
Oh, yeah.
I got it today, this morning. I put it on, and I'm like, my God, it's probably the best quality beanie I've ever had in my head in my life. And I'm bummed I didn't get one for myself. So I'll be ordering another Finley beanie for sure. Shout out the sponsor to the pod.
Yes. All right. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Good luck.